Sales email subject lines, one of the first things our prospects see when we reach out to them. So why are so many of us not getting the responses that we want from our sales emails and subject lines? And what can you, yes you do, to drastically increase your chances of success? Keep watching to find out more. Can't have Magneto, guys, without Charlie Boy. We've added into our collection. What's going on, guys? It's Fairhead from Sales Unveiled, once again helping slash through with a new camera, I might add, all of the misconceptions around sales, business, and personal development, and giving you the practical advice that you need in your day-to-day careers. Let's face it, guys, sales email subject lines are tough. I mean, we only have a handful of words to really grab our readers' attention and our prospects' attention, with the average person then receiving, on average, around about 126 emails per day. Hell of a lot. It's very easy for our emails to get lost in the fold, like my gym membership has. Now, while subject lines are important for most people, as salespeople reaching out to businesses, having a subject line that works basically makes the difference between having a subject line that works, that your prospects will respond back to, where you'll be able to earn a fat, juicy commission check, versus a subject line and an email that's just going to end up in a spam folder, which don't really want, do we? In the video today then, guys, we're going to cover my top 4 tips to writing effective sales email subject lines. You're also going to want to stick around to the end of the video where I'll have a bit of a bonus for you guys where I'll jump into my inbox and see some of the subject lines that we receive, and we can review them for your viewing pleasure. Let's jump like we've never jumped. I don't know what I'm saying here, guys. Let's just jump into the rest of the video. Point 1, keep your subject lines short. Guys, if you can take one thing away from this video, please let it be this. Not just saying that because I'm a short man like myself. The longer your email subject line, the much less likely it is you're going to hear back from your prospect. People want your subject lines to be a summary, not filled with the body of your text. That's what the rest of the email's for there, guys. So you want to make sure it's as short as possible. But I know what you're thinking, guys. Fairhead. Lovely camera, by the way. How short should our subject lines be? Well, I'm glad you asked there, guys. According to some recent research, around about 41 characters or between 4 and 7 words tends to work the best. However, in my own experience of working in sales for far, far longer than I'd want to admit, I tend to find that the sweet spot is around about 4 words long. So keep it short and keep it to the point, and you should be onto a winner. You want to know what isn't short and to the point, guys? Liking and subscribing this YouTube channel. So if you're interested in finding out more great content around sales training, business, personal development, all those fantastic things, please do smash that like button, hit subscribe, and of course, give that little bell notification a tap there as well. I don't know what that was, but hey, I'll do anything for subscribers. Please. Point 2, ensure that the subject line is relevant. Imagine pitching a product to a prospect, guys, only to get their name wrong. It'd be pretty embarrassing, right? Never happened to me. The exact same then happens if you send a subject line that is completely irrelevant to the prospects that you're reaching out to. Heck, you might even get their name wrong there, which is just bad form, really, isn't it? No judgments here, guys. Happens plenty of times to me. I mean, we can test this right now. Look into your own inbox and have a look through the emails that you receive and the subject lines. You're likely to find that a lot of them are very, very generic and not really relevant to you. And you know, the ones that are really do stand out and really do prompt you to want to respond back to them. A lot of the subject lines that we receive there, guys, tend to push a lot of product, which is kind of bizarre because, as we all know, working in sales, trying to push a product without actually understanding what the customer's problem or the prospect's problem is, really a big no-no, isn't it? So how exactly do we craft a subject line that is both personal and relevant? Well, simply put, have a look at your prospects' LinkedIn, social media, or any publicly available information that you'll have on the web. Subject lines are all about getting your prospects' attention. And what better way than getting someone's attention than by referencing something that's going on in their personal life? Let's give an example. So let's say you're trying to reach out to myself and you're trying to sell me sales training services. I don't know, it might be something I'm interested in. So if you just had the subject line of something like, I don't know, free sales training, you know, might get my attention because it is relevant to my job. However, what would get my attention even more would be if you Googled my name and you had a quick look around and you'd see that I own a blog called Remote Working Warriors. You can maybe reference that in the subject line by saying something like, Fairhead, you remote worker, you. That would definitely get my attention and definitely increase my chances of wanting to respond back to that. And no, that was not just a complete humble brag around my blog. Point 3, avoid the generic. Similar to the point above then, you've done a fantastic job of finding the relevant research, but it's very important that we don't just rely on this and try to go one step beyond and one step further for this. Why, I hear you say? I'm glad you asked. Simply put, a lot of us are going to be going up against our competitors when reaching out to our prospects. So if you think about it, we want to make sure that our subject lines not only stand out with relevant research in the inbox, but also stand out against our competitors. Let's give you another example. So let's say you're reaching out to me. I work in HR, for example, and you're trying to sell me a HR system. Part of the research that you found when you were doing your research around this prospect was that you found that they were in a new role. So you might be thinking a good subject line might be something like congratulations on the new role. I mean, it's short, it's to the point, it's relevant, all those things that tick all the boxes. However, if you think about it, that information is made public and it's going to be relevant to all of your other competitors who are likely probably doing the exact same thing. I mean, how often have you spoken to our prospects thinking that, you know, we're really unique in our email only for them to get back to us and say, oh, I've had about 100 different sales calls this week, or, you know, I get inundated with sales emails. You know, they're getting a lot of stuff through, so it's so important that we stand out. So how exactly do we take a good subject line topic and really expand on it to make it a fantastic subject line topic? The best trick that I've actually learned with this is just pairing up that research with something else. A good trick that's worked for me in the past then has been, you know, referencing the company that this person's working at, put the greater than sign and then put their old company on there. You're still conveying the new message that, you know, they've started a new role, but you're doing something a little bit different and tweaking upon all the other generic information out there. Another option, if you've got the budget for it, or even if you don't, you can send them something small, is to send your prospects something in the mail, whether it's a chocolate bar, something that's maybe relevant to their job, all those kinds of things. And then write in the subject line something like, did you get the goodies? Hope the chocolates went down well, something like that. And again, you're referencing the fact that they're brand new in the role, but you're doing things a little bit different and tweaking things to really stand out from the crowd. Appreciate it's a little bit costly and a little bit long, but it definitely does work. Point 4, track your emails. So whilst there might be a little bit of controversy out there around, you know, email tracking or all those kind of tools around that, as salespeople, it's essential for us to track these. And what better way to see how your subject line is doing than by tracking things like, you know, your open rate, your response rate, to really see how things are getting on with the subject lines that you're coming up with. At the end of the day, whilst all the tips I've given you in the video definitely work, unfortunately, no two sales jobs are exactly the same. So, you know, the type of products that you're pitching, the people that you're pitching to, all those things are going to be different. So the only way you can really improve upon your own sales subject lines is how well the emails you're sending across are performing. A little trick, however, would be that if you're sending out something like, you know, 100 emails and you're having an open rate that's quite decent, maybe a 30 to 40% open rate, but your response rate is incredibly low, maybe it's 1% to 0.5% or something like that, then you know that the issue isn't necessarily with your subject line, it might actually be with the content of your email. If that's the case, the best thing you can do in that particular situation is check out my video talking all about outbound sales emails, which I'll put here. I still don't know where anything is, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm gonna say here-ish. And then you can also check out my inbound sales email if you do work in the inbound sales line, which should be here-ish somewhere again, hopefully. Now, to any new sales managers out there, I'm sure some of you might be unfamiliar with some of the best tools on the marketplace for tracking sales emails. So the two best ones that I've used in my career have been HubSpot, fantastic tool, and SalesLoft there as well. Both incredible tools for helping you track sales emails. So be sure to check them out. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies or any of those kinds of things, just a couple of suggestions from someone who's used them. ET phone bonus. I can't believe I do that, guys. I do anything on these videos for you guys. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. As always, and as promised, got a bit of a bonus here for yourself. So I thought it'd be really exciting, really interesting actually for me to dive into my own inbox, have a look at some of the subject lines that I receive, take a couple of bad subject lines and see what I would do to improve them to make them really grab my attention a little bit more. So let's dive into old trusty computer. Okay, she's over there because I'm reading notes off her, but let's dive in and sort of see what we can do. Right guys, so the first subject line we're going to talk about is this one here entitled Epic Deals Now On. Yay! So this is a subject line that I received from Curry's PC World on the back of Buy My Camera. I promise that's the last time I talk about the camera in the video, guys, but it's pretty cool, right? Anyway, now whilst this subject line is not horrible, as you know, I did recently buy something relevant from them and it is quite short and to the point, there's nothing in this subject line that is super personal, making it seem like it's a generic email that's been sent out to hundreds of people, which, you know, I'm sure it works for that particular thing, but there's a few changes that we can do to really make this stand out a little bit further. Simply put, what would really work in this particular situation is if we were just to write something like, how's the camera going on bed? Directly references what I last purchased from them, shows that they actually care, and then in the body of the email they could continue to upsell different products and talk about their sale there. Right, so the second subject line I want to talk about is one that I received in my work email actually, and it was entitled, what was it? I'm getting rid of this, right there. Right, it was entitled Cloud-Based Install Basis. I'll put it on the screen here. So this subject line has absolutely zero reference to anything that I kind of do on a day-to-day basis. It has nothing personalized there. And again, like we talked about earlier on, it's just directly pushing product rather than actually getting an idea of what would work for me. Now, what this person is actually selling is data, and as salespeople, we all know correct email addresses, correct phone numbers are incredibly important. So technically the product could work, but the way it was positioned just really doesn't make any sense. So what I would do to improve this subject line would simply be, I would do a quick Google of my name. Any of you can do that, and you can actually see that I have this YouTube channel right here. And on the back of that, I would go through my videos and see any that I have around cold calling, like this one here, and potentially reference that. So I'd entitle the subject line like cold calling is dead, no more for head. And that would definitely get my attention. And if you were to reference the video in the rest of the email, I would definitely want to have a conversation with you guys because you've gone one step beyond. Right guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. As always, I'm going to leave you with a bit of a question. What is the best subject line that you've received? Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. As always, if you've enjoyed this content and are interested in more fantastic content around sales, personal development and business, side hustles as well, we'll get to a couple of side hustle videos there soon as well, guys. Please do consider subscribing, smash that like button, hit that bell notification, abuse the comment section. No, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, guys, it's always been a pleasure. Really excited to see you on the next one, and we can take things from there. Have a good one. Bye for now.